the peace that started 38 years ago. And that's why on the 26th of January, year in, year out, we must commemorate this day. We started our preparations by holding security meetings and involving all the NRM pressure groups. One of the core values of NRM is Pan-Africanism. That's why in Arua City, we have about 23,000 urban refugees. And the Sudanese refugees have organized the cultural gala. I would like to invite the people to join our brothers, to join our sisters in the spirit of Pan-Africanism.
South Sudanese who are here or back home, the politics of the country has caused a lot of problems, a lot of divisions. To become a problem for people to come together. You know, sometimes a Dinka and a Nuer, they don't associate themselves. They don't associate themselves completely, these two tribes. But we manage to bring these two communities together for this cultural gala. We are hosted here since 2016, others came 2014. And we have been living peacefully without any problem. This cultural gala is formed to bring all the South Sudanese together. I know this is the beginning of the unity of the people of South Sudan who are living in West Nile.
Women living with obstetric fistula in Namaingo district are set to benefit from an 11 billion shillings program by the Icelandic Embassy in Uganda in partnership with the United Nations Population Fund. This was announced at a press conference held at the embassy in Kampala.
Obstetric fistula is likely or highly likely to occur among teenagers. Why? Because their bodies are not really mature to handle complications of pregnancy.
The program aims at enhancing the capacity of healthcare facilities and community structures to provide quality maternal health and gender-based violence services, including fistula care in Namaingo district.
We are really looking at women who leak either urine due to the birth injury, or they leak feces due to birth injury, or both. And these women are normally shunned by the communities because of their condition. And in some cases, there are myths and misconceptions around the condition. That, okay, maybe the woman has been bewitched, or there are things maybe around this area that has caused this problem.
Every year, Uganda registers about 1,900 new fistula cases, and 7% of these occur among adolescent girls. The partnership between the Iceland Embassy in Uganda, the United Nations Population Fund, and government is set to run from January 2024 to December 2026.
Namaingo, as you mentioned, is Iceland's partner in our district development approach. We have a unique approach to our development cooperation here, and Namaingo faces several challenges when it comes to obstetric fistula and sexual and reproductive health, and has one of the highest fertility rates in Uganda and teenage pregnancies. So we have a big task ahead of us, but I'm confident that we are up to the task.
With this, we aim at restoring the dignity of these mothers that have been since negated by their communities. We all know what happens when a person starts leaking urine. They will be isolated from their communities, they will be rejected, and many a time they suffer isolation.
Obstetric fistula is one of the most serious and tragic childbirth injuries. It is a hole between the birth canal and bladder or rectum and is caused by prolonged obstructed labor without access to timely, high-quality medical treatment, but fortunately is treatable.
The first Deputy Prime Minister for East Africa Affairs and Women MP for Kamuli District has highlighted several milestones that the country has achieved as Uganda prepares to commemorate the 38th NRM-NRA Liberation Day slated for tomorrow. Kadaga points out Uganda's consistency in pushing for a working East African community and other policies critical for it to fully be operational. We have more.
Uganda, as part of the East African community, has been very consistent in planning for and trying to actualize the 4 pillars of the East African community integration. We have already achieved the customs union. We are already we have the common market. We also ought by now this year to have set in place the monetary union, and then finally the political confederation. The monetary union is not moving as fast as it should. However, we have mooted the idea that instead of insisting on the conditionalities for convergence in order to get a common currency, we would like to propose that the East African community issues an East African currency to operate alongside the national currencies until such a time as we can have one single currency, as done in the European Union. A number of the countries run alongside the euro. So that's the new idea that we are mooting, and I hope that if the proposal is agreed upon, as I said, Uganda is a key member of the East African community. We are doing quite a lot to sensitize about the benefits of the community. We have done quite a bit on the borders. We have now a number of one-stop border posts to ease the movement of people, goods, services, and capital. We are doing work on harmonization of education standards. There are a number of things that are ongoing at the moment. And soon we shall be completing the one-stop border post at Swam, which will shorten the distance between Kapchorwa and Nairobi. This will be a bypass running from Kapchorwa to Swam, Kitale to Eldoret. So on the other side of Mpondo, we have a one-stop border post. We have another one at Busia. And I'm proposing to establish two additional border posts in the east, one at Mulwanda and another point on the road to Mr. Road. So we are looking into that possibility to enable Ugandans to move much faster. Now, yes, I was in Parliament as a leader for quite a bit of time. There are many things that I did over those 20 years. I think among the most outstanding was to engender the legislation. For instance, we ensured that the committees share leadership and that the women are able to chair committees. I established a daycare center there for the children of the staff and the members. I gave opportunities to the women members of staff to travel. Before I became a deputy speaker, they were not allowed to travel to attend seminars or workshops or international conferences. I think that is an achievement. The international level, I did a lot to bring back the Uganda to both the Interparliamentary Union and within the Commonwealth. You may recall that in 2012, as part of our Golden Jubilee celebrations, we brought the Interparliamentary Union here for the first time in the history of Uganda, which was a very big thing. I also worked hard to make sure that the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association conference takes place in Uganda, and after 57 years, they had not been to Uganda for 57 years.
The Buganda Kingdom has appealed to government to increase funding for the Uganda Coffee Development Authority (UCDA) amid ongoing discussions about merging various agencies. The Buganda Kitikiro, Charles Peter Mayiga, emphasized the importance of keeping UCDA independent due to its vital services to the majority of Ugandans. The board of Uganda Coffee Development Authority recently visited the Katikkiro of Buganda to reflect on the 7-year partnership initiated in 2017 with the Uganda Kingdom aimed at enhancing coffee production. The meeting took place at Bulange, Mengo. During the event, Katikkiro Mayiga appealed to the government to increase funding for UCDA, highlighting its direct involvement with farmers and its crucial role in the coffee industry.
I urge government to reconsider the plans of phasing out UCDA. We want to work with them even more. We want to see UCDA in every district in this country, because 70% of the population of Ugandans are involved in coffee farming. They're farmers. I think this is an agency that should even finance them more. They told me they don't have money to give us. They can support us in their humble way. Why should UCDA be supporting us in a humble way? Which other product of Uganda brings in $1 billion? I mean, from Ugandans. I know tourists do that. I know that the diaspora sends us more money than that. But I'm talking about a product of Ugandans.
Mayiga advised UCDA to actively promote Ugandan coffee on the international stage, aiming to attract greater consumption globally.
I went to Sweden, and at the airport, this hurt me actually. At the airport, at Stockholm, in the lounge, they took me to their lounge, and they use coffee sacks with which coffee is imported into Sweden as decorations. They arrange them so well. I saw Rwanda coffee, I saw, coffee from Latin America. There was no sack marked Uganda coffee. How much coffee does Rwanda produce? For them to have their sacks spread in the lounge as decorations, we need to do marketing.
Dr. Charles Mugoya, chairman of UCDA board, affirmed that the results of the partnership between UCDA and the Uganda Kingdom have been tangible and beneficial.
We also acknowledge the Kingdom's diversification beyond coffee production and productivity. Notably, the finished roasted product, Kawa Mpologoma, is now becoming a household name. And the Kingdom company, Mwanyi Terimba Limited, having obtained a license to export coffee, was a great move in that direction.
The managing director of UCDA appealed to Katikkiro to continue using his influence to encourage people to engage in more farming activities.
The production has increased, but we are not yet midway. Value, we have surpassed the midpoint, but the production which would have earned us even more is still low.
Uganda has set a target of exporting 20 million bags of coffee by 2030. The achievement of this goal relies heavily on practicing good habits and sustainable agricultural practices. As the UCDA board visits the Uganda Katikkiro, the call to maintain UCDA's independence and increase in its funding remains a crucial aspect in ensuring the prosperity of Uganda's coffee industry. Lydia Chomkama, Andrew Sebira, UBC News. The government of Uganda, through the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, has urged farmers in northern Uganda to embrace coffee growing as a major cash crop that can significantly impact the diversification of household incomes, unlike short-term crops grown in the areas such as simsim, maize and sunflower. The managing director of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, Emmanuel Iyamulemye, alongside the board chair Charles Mugoya, accompanied by the board of directors and the technical management, revealed this during the one-week-long field mission visit to Acholi and Lango coffee growing communities.
This field mission to Lango and Acholi sub-regions by Uganda Coffee Development Authority is to upscale coffee growing and production to bring about macroeconomic stability.
As you know, about 5 years ago, we set ourselves to produce up to 20 million 60 kilogram bags of coffee annually. and we are traveling that journey to make that dream come true. And the reason why you spend resources to support the promotion of coffee in northern Uganda is that it presents a very unique opportunity for the expansion of the land under coffee growing. As you know, coffee has been traditionally grown in central Uganda, western Uganda, eastern Uganda. And those areas have got a limitation in terms of how far can we go in expanding the area under coffee. But northern Uganda presents therefore a very strategic opportunity, is that it's a new crop and the land is available.
A cross-section of coffee farmers we visited in northern Uganda have indeed identified coffee as a major cash crop to generate enough income capable of alleviating poverty in the region.
This coming harvest season, I want to tell you that if I get less than 30 million shillings, then I will not be happy. We still have land which is still unutilized, and coffee can take that portion. I want to inform members that in some near future, mid-northern Uganda will be the coffee basket for this country.
Coffee has been known for many years that is only for the areas in the central region and western. But the government is deliberately promoting coffee here. That's why the president established a demonstration farm just a few kilometers from here to demonstrate to the people of northern Uganda that colonial mentality that coffee cannot grow in northern Uganda is the myth.
However, a change in weather patterns, coffee pests like the black coffee twig borer that devastate coffee plantations in northern Uganda, and lack of a functional coffee processing facility for value addition remain a challenge to coffee growing. When you delve into the economics of this coffee crop, 1 kilogram of coffee beans contains around 5,000 coffee beans, yet you only need 8 coffee beans to brew a cup of coffee. Surprisingly, 1 cup of coffee costs around 10,000 Uganda shillings. Just imagine how much profit one earns. Crispus, Adinitwe, UBC TV.
And with that, UBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, but we return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The energy of this land was born in the hearts of these men, of these women. It comes to life in the power of these colors and the memory of this sense. The energy of this land comes from here. It comes from Africa, and it vibrates in each of us.
I'm powered by Africa.
Oryx Gas, powered by Africa.
Thank you. Hello, Eric. Come and see my new home.
Are you looking for the best quality paint for your dream home? Be part of the new revolution with our Global Paint Silk Vinyl that gives you beautiful, shining interior walls, as WeatherCoat gives you never fading and strongly guarded walls against bad weather conditions. Located along Namavi Industrial Park, Global Paints, a reliable product.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukalubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu keno kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo, nyiga bunyezi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
In the production process of Aquafina, we expertly filter every drop, providing clear and perfect tasting water to help you keep hydrated with the added benefit of minerals. Aquafina is bottled by Pepsi Cola International in Uganda and is available at only 1,000 shillings.
Welcome back from that break, and now into some more news this afternoon. The Central Corridor Transportation Facilitation Agency has concluded the first half of the 2023-2024 financial year with notable achievements and significant strides in facilitating regional trade and logistics. As Dennis Sigor reports, the admission of 2 new member countries into the bloc is mentioned as the key milestone in the current fiscal year.
The admission of the 2 new member countries of Malawi and Zambia marked a pivotal moment in the organization's history. The Executive Secretary, Advocate Florio Kanjo Konge, highlights this accomplishment, emphasizing the Central Corridor's commitment to improving lives and economies through seamless trade facilitation.
To have Malawi and Zambia, don't think that it was a simple. No. I traveled a lot to bring in Malawi and Zambia. We strategized. We spend a lot of resources. Finally, we have Malawi and Zambia. So this is a very good achievement for Central Corridor for this year.
The formal accession of Malawi and Zambia to the corridor was announced during the Central Corridor Interstate Council of Ministers meeting held in Dar es Salaam on December 1st, 2023.
We are doing the best to improve the efficiency and reduce the transport cost along the corridor to improve the living standard of our people in our region.
As you can realize, the United Republic of Tanzania is at the heart of the corridor. Allow me to reiterate that the investment that are being made in infrastructure, the improvement of the port of Dar es Salaam, all these have a significant and positive impact to trade and transport within our region.
In another key regional development, the Central Corridor Transit Transport Facilitation Agency celebrated the handover and commissioning of 20 rehabilitated flatbed wagons, a move aimed at enhancing the Uganda Railway Corporation's cargo transportation capacity.
Uganda on the Central Corridor, we are the nexus. Actually in all corridors, even the Northern Corridor, we are at the center of things. If we don't function, we are like the heart of the corridor. If the heart fails to function, the rest of the body will not function. If we can't move cargo from Mwanza to here, to go to Congo, to go to Sudan, to go to elsewhere, the corridor will choke.
On the continental stage, CCTTFA made significant strides by signing a memorandum of understanding with the African Continental Free Trade Area during the International Trade Fair in Cairo, Egypt, further aligning the corridor with the African trade. It is evident that CCTTFA's expansion, strategic partnerships and infrastructure enhancements position the corridor as a driving force in improving trade and logistics throughout the region. The agency's wings are spreading wider, solidifying its commitment to fostering economic growth and connectivity. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
And with that, UBC Lunchtime News has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company. Do enjoy much more of UBC Television's programming, and also a big congratulations to all the PLE candidates upon receiving their results. Laureen Masika Kazimoto, have yourself a lovely afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The National Liberation Day, held on the 26th of January every year, marks the overthrow of the previous government by the National Resistance Movement /Army in 1986. The theme for the 38th NRA Victory Day anniversary